Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, for 1 year as we read through St. Faustina's diary. Join me, Amy Thomas, each day for a short reading out of the diary which brought us a deeper understanding of Christ's divine mercy. Hey, Catholic pilgrims! Welcome to day 72 of our readings from St. Faustina's diary. I hope you all are doing well. We have a little bit longer reading today, so we are going to jump right in because there's a lot to talk about. Today's readings are like little short snippets for the most part, but there's some really good stuff packed inside of there, so I definitely want to get to it. So we are reading from Notebook 1, numbers 273 to 278. Annual Retreat, January 10th, 1934. My Jesus, again the moment approaches when I will be alone with you. Jesus, I ask you with all my heart, let me know what there is in me that displeases you, and also let me know what I should do to become more pleasing to you. Do not refuse me this favor and be with me. I know that without you, Lord, all my efforts will not amount to much. Oh, how I rejoice at your greatness, O Lord. The more I come to know you, the more ardently I yearn for you and sigh after you. Jesus gave me the grace of knowing myself. In this divine light, I see my principal fault. It is pride which takes the form of my closing up within myself and of a lack of simplicity in my relations with Mother Superior Irene. The second light concerns speaking. I sometimes talk too much. A thing could be settled in 1 or 2 words, and as for me, I take too much time about it. But Jesus wants me to use that time to say some short indulgenced prayers for the souls in purgatory. And the Lord says that every word will be weighted on the day of judgment. The third light concerns our rules. I have not sufficiently avoided the occasions that lead to breaking the rules, especially that of silence. I will act as if the rule were written just for me. It should not affect me at all how everyone else might act, as long as I myself act as God wishes. Resolution. Whatever Jesus demands of me regarding eternal things, I will immediately go and tell my superiors. I shall strive for childlike openness and frankness in my relations with the superior. Jesus loves hidden souls. A hidden flower is the most fragrant. I must strive to make the interior of my soul a resting place for the heart of Jesus. In difficult and painful moments, O my Creator, I sing you a hymn of trust, for bottomless is the abyss of my trust in you and in your mercy. From the moment I came to love suffering, it ceased to be a suffering for me. Suffering is the daily food of my soul. I will not speak with a certain person because I know that Jesus does not like it and that she does not profit by it. At the feet of the Lord, hidden Jesus, eternal love, our source of life, divine madman, in that you forget yourself and see only us. Before creating heaven and earth, you carried us in the depths of your heart, O love, O depth of your abasement, O mystery of happiness. Why do so few people know you? Why is your love not returned? O divine love, why do you hide your beauty? O infinite one beyond all understanding, the more I know you, the less I comprehend you. But because I cannot comprehend you, I better comprehend your greatness. I do not envy the seraphim their fire, for I have a greater gift deposited in my heart. They admire you in rapture, but your blood mingles with mine. Love is heaven given us already here on earth. Oh, why do you hide in faith? Love tears away the veil. There is no veil before the eye of my soul, for you yourself have drawn me into the bosom of secret love forever. Praise and glory be to you, O indivisible Trinity, one God, unto ages of ages. So, lot to go over here. There's so much. But years ago, I came across a Marilyn Monroe movie. And I really became, I don't know what the right word is, intrigued by her. She's a very beautiful woman, and the events surrounding her life are very intriguing. And so I bought a biography on her, and I started reading about her life. And I don't know what it was, but I felt this deep sorrow for her. Like, I wished I could have been her friend because she was such a lonely woman. But I get off track. The reason why I bring up Marilyn Monroe is because there's this saying that's attributed to her that goes something like this: if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Which there is no real evidence that that is attributed to her, but you often see it in memes online and stuff. And anyway, I see this, type of thinking repeated in different forms online. Like, if you can't handle me on my bad days, then you don't deserve me at all, or you don't deserve the good sides of me. I see this a lot. And also, there's this idea in our culture that, you don't need to do anything to improve yourself. If people can't take you for how you are, then screw them and walk away. Now, there is some truth to that. We should be trying to love people even on their worst days, not just on their best days. God told us to love our enemies, and that includes when people are being difficult to love. However, it's also a very selfish way to look at yourself. And so what I'm getting at is, in the first part of today's readings, in 273, Sister Faustina asks Christ to let her know what there is in her that displeases him. And she wants to know if there should be something that she should be doing that would please him even more. And the reason I bring this up is because this is such a good practice to put into our lives, not just with Christ, but with members of our family. So I'll often ask my husband, is there anything that I should be working on that, some sin or vice that you see within me that I'm missing that, you could draw my attention to? And sometimes he'll say something and sometimes he won't. He'll say, no, there's nothing I'm really noticing lately. Or sometimes he'll, point out maybe I've been a little impatient or irritable. Every time he tells me something that I can work on, I get slightly defensive, but I have asked him and he's being truthful. But it does help open my eyes to maybe something that I haven't seen. And it's so important for us to be asking this question because we want to be at our best for people. We don't want to force people to love us at our worst and just accept that about us. So I think this is an important question to ask either a spouse or a best friend, or I've even asked my children, is there something I can be doing to be a better mother to you? And kids will usually answer you very truthfully. And it can be kind of harsh, but if you're going to ask them, don't get upset with them if they're honest with you. So that's the number one thing I wanted to point out. The next thing that she talks about that I wanted to point out was in 276. She says, from the moment I came to love suffering, it ceased to be a suffering for me. Suffering is the daily food of my soul. And this is something, again, in our modern day culture, we try so hard to avoid suffering at all costs. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and find some way to really amp up their suffering, because a lot of people are suffering in different ways. But what I am saying is that so often we look at suffering as only, some kind of punishment or something just to bite down and get through. But oftentimes we can use that suffering for the good of another person. We can offer that suffering for somebody else. We can unite our suffering to Christ. I think I've mentioned this before, but when I was Protestant, this was never anything that anybody ever talked about, was taking your suffering, unite it to Christ, or offer your suffering as a prayer for someone else. And I have found every time I've done that, it makes the suffering easier and more tolerable. So that was the second thing I wanted to point out. The third thing I wanted to point out was in 278. I love how she calls Christ the divine madman, because he's just so crazy in love with us that he forgets himself and sees only us. It's a very unique title for Christ. But she's talking about the angels here. And last year, I believe, I did a pretty lengthy study on angels. And if you weren't following me at that time, angels are creatures They are individuals. They do not have bodies, but they have a soul. So they are a unique individual that God created. And the seraphim are some of the highest order of angels. There's kind of a hierarchy. And the seraphim basically get to be in the full glory of God, just praising and worshiping him. But she says here she doesn't envy their fire, because they're kind of depicted in the Bible as, being on flame because they're so on fire for God. She doesn't envy them that, because she has a greater gift deposited in her heart. And I love this next line. They admire you in rapture, but your blood mingles with mine. And she is talking about the Eucharist, because when we consume Christ in the Eucharist, body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ, he's all there. His blood is mingling with ours, and that is incredible. And the angels do not get to experience this. In fact, I've seen it written that the angels actually envy us because of our ability to take the Eucharist and be that united to Christ. So that was just an amazing line that she wrote there, because your blood mingles with mine. And how blessed we are. And I wish more people could fully understand how truly incredible that is, and how much of a gift it is to us, that we have a God, an infinitely powerful, almighty, glorious God who communes with us and comes into our bodies and mingles in our blood. That just blows your mind. So that's all for today, Catholic pilgrims. These are some great readings. So I would, go over them, take them apart, read what she has to say. The part on speaking too much, I had to kind of laugh, because I doubt she beats me out, but it was still a good thing to read and something to be mindful of. But I will see you back here for day 73 of our readings from St. Faustina's diary. And until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.